Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Khalik. The life we are living, of course, there are certain challenges we do have to face here in it. There are certain opportunities we want to get it encashed, we want to avail, we want to benefit from. Of course, we want to live a very happy, a very successful life. All of that is really fine. The trouble is that we are not very much taught about how to live a life, how to live a life well, and how to live a happy life. We do come across certain experiences which are not so pleasant, and then we start thinking that I was not told about it by my parents, by my teachers and mentors. I couldn't get a good schooling. That's the reason that I'm facing all of that, dear friends. The life is not that much calculated, predicted, predictable. There are surprises and there are things which are not so pleasant, which are somewhat challenging. All that reason, we find it necessary to learn, not to learn from the schools and the teachers, mentors only, but from our own experiences, dear friends. Certain lessons which we learn a bit late in our life, and we do think that alas, I had learnt it much earlier, my life would have been much better. I could have avoided those unpleasant, bitter experiences. But the life has its own timing of teaching something. Dear friends, there are certain lessons we learn too late in life. Here in our today's discussion, we are going to talk about those lessons which are learnt very late in the life. But these are so important, so important, so important that these could be called as the toolkit for life. So important, so useful and beneficial that it could be called a toolkit for life. And today, our topic of discussion is the lessons which are too important, the lessons which are learned too late in the life, the lessons which could be called toolkit for the life. Let's look upon that. 10 lessons people learn too late in life. 10 lessons people learn too late in life. Number 1, happiness is a choice, not a result. We are of the view that I can only become a happy person if I could succeed in achieving that thing. If I do succeed in reaching at that spot in that position, I can only enjoy my life. I can only be a happy person. Then I think sometimes we are of the view that this thing will give me a happiness. What does happen is the totally opposite. So this thing, instead of giving the happiness, gives the player, not the player, give the displayer, give the trouble and the pain and a bitter experience. Not so pleasant lesson, dear friends. Even if at all it does give us a happiness, it does cannot give us a lasting happiness at all. It gives us only and only a very temporary happiness. So for that reason, my dear friends and fellows, I think I am quite a humble student. The people who have done a lot of research work, they say that happiness is a choice and not a result at all. Not a result of the achieving certain things, not a result of reaching at certain places. What we need to do in that respect, if at all we want to make the happiness as a choice, if we want to make the happiness as a choice, we start believing that happiness will be the choice, happiness is the choice and not a result. What we need to do then, find joy in small things. Find joy in small things. Appreciate what you have. Finding joy in small things on the one hand, appreciating whatever we have on the other hand. You might find that happiness is closer than you think. Once we decide that I am going to take the happiness as a choice, and I have to enjoy the small things, I have to appreciate what I have, then only we will reach a conclusion that the happiness is closer than I earlier thought. Number 2, don't sweat the small stuff. Don't get irritated, troubled because of the small things which were not according to our choice or pleasure. Life is filled with ups and downs. Life is filled with ups and downs. Like if at all we are traveling and there was a bump on the road, if we become unhappy because of this jump or bump or something else, the whole of the journey will be spoiled. So we don't have to sweat the small stuff. Rather, we should learn to ignore. We should learn to ignore the small stuff. Number 3, embrace failure. Embracing failure. Don't fear it, embrace it rather. We don't need to be afraid of the failure at all. Instead, we need to embrace it. Why? Because as a matter of fact, the failure is not an enemy at all. The failure is not an enemy at all. Instead, the failure is a teacher. So we need to learn from the teacher. We don't need to be afraid of it at all. Number 4, everyone is just as lost as you are. Everyone is just as lost as you are. Life does not come with a manual. We all are in the same boat. Dear friends, the troubles, the problems, the unpleasant things are in the life of each and everyone else. No one else is without that at all, dear friends. And we do think rather, that if a person is having a very nice car, a good home to live in, and is wearing very good dresses, dine from the fine restaurants, fine dining is enjoyed, we are of the view that there is nothing bad in their life, everything else is going according to their choice. That is absolutely wrong, because the troubles and the pains are in the life of each and every individual, but the nature of it could be different. As far the luxuries of life is concerned, I think they are not looking upon us, they are not comparing their life with us. Rather, they compare their life with those who are more rich than these people are, with those who are with those who are more famous than these people are. So, if at all a person is found comparing one's life with the life of another person, so this is a kind of guarantee that they will never ever will become a happy person. dear friends. Now, maintain number 5, maintain your relationships. Relationships and relationships. We need to maintain our relationships. We need to make our relationships more and more positive on the one hand, and more deep on the other hand. We need to maintain our relationships. Maintaining the relationships matters a lot. It does gives us a lot of happiness. It does gives us a sense of fulfillment. As a matter of fact, nobody can ever lead a good life without the good relationships, and we need to make our relationships, we need to convert all the relationships into a more and more and more positive one. And we need, excuse me, we need to maintain it, we need to retain it. Maintain your relationships. Number 6, self care is not being selfish. Some of the people are of the view that self care is being selfish. This is not the case actually. This is not the case at all. If at all we don't take care of ourselves, who else is going to do that? Only we are with we ourselves 24/7, and the other people, even the closest of the family members, they have their own pressing problems, they have their own priorities. Why will they take care of us? But I think primarily we need to take care of ourselves. We need to sleep on time. We need to wake up on time. We need to eat on time. We need to have to eat the healthy diet on the other hand. That is all what is needed, my dear friend. Self care is one of the most important items. Self care must be kept in the priorities, and self care is not being selfish at all. If at all we don't take care of ourselves, the people who are our loved one, we will not be able to take care of those people, and they will suffer as well. I think we must not be outsourcing the care about ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves, and the self care is not being selfish at all. And number 7, nobody's life is as perfect as it looks on social media. Nobody's life is as perfect as it looks on the social media. You would have seen that the people are taking pictures of what they are eating, and what they are wearing, where they go for the sake of shopping, where they go for the sake of entertainment. People are seen taking picture snaps of it and putting it on the social media, on the Instagram and the Facebook. And I think we look, many of the people are of the view that they people are having a perfect life. The trouble is that they are only showing us one aspect of their life, not the unpleasant aspects of their life. And we are focused upon the aspects of our life which are not so pleasant, which are not that good. So, for all that reason, we don't need to think that the people on the social media, on the Instagram and Facebook, that they are the happier people. Okay, they are having this aspect of their life as well, which is being seen on the social media, but there is the other side of the picture as well. So in our case, we too need to focus upon whatever is good in the life, and I think more good things will happen to us, inshallah. And now the number 8 is, money cannot buy happiness. Money cannot buy. It is a truth. I think that the money can buy the things. The money we can buy the dresses of our choice. We can buy the expensive food, expensive dresses, expensive house to live in, expensive car to ride in, and all of that is okay. But the happiness is something else. We can buy the things. We cannot buy the happiness, even if at all the happiness has arrived because of the brand new luxurious car, the car of our choice. But this happiness is not going to stay with us for a longer period of time. So that is the reason that the money cannot buy happiness. On the other hand, there is a homeless person. If at all their thinking is positive, if at all they think more and more positive, I believe that they can live a happy life. Now, as far the tranquilizers are concerned, As for the sedatives are concerned, these are usually bought by the rich people, not by the poor people. As for the disease and the trouble of depression is concerned, it is not only with the poor people, it is much, much more with the rich people. Many of the celebrities have even committed suicide. So that is all a kind of proof that the money cannot buy the happiness. Number 9, it's never too late to start whatever you wanted to start. Now you think that I'm in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. I should not be starting it now. This is not something right at all. I think it's never too late to start something. Whatever good you want to start, whatever good you want to start, never hesitate to start it even very now. The reason is it's never too late. Never too late to start anything else. Do it as early as you can, but never ever feel that it's too late to start. I've seen the people taking exam and in their 60s and 70s. Whatever you wanted to do, wherever you wanted to go, whatever hobbies, passion you wanted to follow, don't hesitate to start, no matter at which stage of the life you are. And now, the lost and the tenth, regret is worse than failure. Yes, regret is indeed worse and worse than the failures. Learn from your mistakes and move forward. We all make mistake. None of us is a person who does not make a mistake at all. So why to think like this one? I think there should not be any regret. Why did I make that sort of mistake? I should not have done it, because the regret is not of any use at all. What instead we need to do is that we need to learn from our mistake, and that is all what we can do. That is all what we need to do. So that was a very, 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 very good discussion indeed on the topic of 10 lessons people learn too late in life. 10 lessons people learn too late in life. A toolkit for life. Thank you.